Welcome to another edition of the channel's Mailbag. So what is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is the part of the channel that you guys actually control. It's based on comments, questions, general feedback that you guys leave either on the YouTube channel, the website, or through one of my social media feeds. Mailbag contains what I think the answer is, what I think my view of the comment is, or sometimes, I just throw it out to the wider audience and say, what do you guys think? That's what Mailbag is. So let's get in to the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Next one. I love some of the names you guys come up with. Six Soggy Socks Suck. Oh, they do. I hate soggy socks. And this was in response to the Roland JX-3P restoration I did in April 2023. This was the checkpoint video. And Six Soggy writes, I've just got one of these and also having a crackling volume knob, as well as the level switch on the back doing nothing at all. What contact cleaner do you use? Well, that's a really interesting conversation, because if I just lean forward, it's actually here. I bought, before they closed down, a bulk load of this. This is Maplin contact cleaner. And many people in the industry in the UK use Maplin contact cleaner. You could buy it in bulk for peanuts. It was really cheap. Now, this is my last tin of this. Okay, so I've also now moved on to a WD-40 brand of contact cleaner, which works kind of equally as well, if I'm brutally honest. That's what I currently use. If I remember, I will put a link to the WD-40 underneath this video. It's always if I remember. What I would say is it's relatively reasonably priced, and more important, and the reason why I'm really using it, and this is really the interesting stuff, right? In order to use contact cleaner, what you need to do, or what you really have to do, is if you're getting into delicate parts, you need a little straw that goes in the top there. And invariably what they do is they stick the straw to the side of the thing here. And once you've taken it in and out a couple of times, the straws get lost. And one of the reasons why I'm using the WD-40 is because WD-40 do what they do with their normal WD-40 silicone grease lubricator, is the straw is part of the mechanism, and you just sort of move it up into place. I wish I had it here, but I don't. You move it up into place, you can get it into the finer areas. You take it out of place, you can disperse it more widely. So that's the reason why I am now using the WD-40 over other brands, because the straw doesn't detach. Next one comes from John Smith. Now, the question is that Doctor Who? It's an in-joke if somebody understands that. And this was in response to Behringer UB-Xa Shocking Inside, Core Chronos 3, Almost Retro, a mailbag I did in March 2025. And John Smith writes, or is it Doctor Who? It's an analog synth U tool. And of course, slap bang in the middle of the circuit board is an ARM processor, which makes that a computer. But to be fair, it's closer to a Roland JX-3P in the architecture concepts, but this is a pure analog synth. It is digitally controlled with signals being fed through an analog path. And that's what I keep saying, and I keep getting told I'm talking absolute rubbish. Then he writes back and says, but my washing machine has a processor, and that means it also has a computer inside it. So he then says, does that make it computer? Or is it just for controlling firmware? My washing machine is still analog. It's computer controlled. The UB-Xa is pure analog polyphonic synthesizer. The ARM processor in the UB-Xa is for digital control and flexibility, not sound. Something generates the signal path. Okay? Something sets the parameters to generate the signal path. Yes, the signal path may be analog, but something, if you have something that just has knobs, and as soon as you move a knob, right, that changes the tone, then the whole thing is analog. There's no way of being able to recreate that tone unless you have exactly the dial locations configured. The Roland JX-3P has digital oscillators, and I know that I probably made the wrong comment. It's analog, it's analog, it's analog. Okay, so to answer the first comment, the thing with the processor in is principally a technology. Technically, it's a computer. And of course, what do I know? We use Raspberry Pis for edge computing. These simple little devices are really excellent computers, admittedly with a stripped down instruction set. You find Raspberry Pis all over the place, and Arduinos all over the place, similar kind of concept. They are computers. You put an instruction set on them, they execute an instruction set. Albeit limited, it's still an instruction set. When I referred to the JX-3P, I was referring to the fact that synth is controlled by the ARM processor. There is a logic chip that is designed to generate the tones that are compatible with the Oberheim that is modelled off. But then again, what do I know? Let's just agree it's analog, but not quite how an old analog synth would have been built. Because if it had been built that way, there would have been a hell of a lot more circuitry inside of it. And you leave it at that. So a lot of people have jumped on me about my comment about it's kind of a digital analog hybrid. Yes, the signal path is completely analog. Okay, on the Behringer UB-Xa, the signal path is completely analog. It's an analog signal path. But the gubbins that controls the parameters for that signal path are digital. Right? That's how it's done. The ARM processor there is hold stuff in memory. It's to control the functions of the UB-Xa that have been added to it to allow it to talk to modern MIDI components, to allow it to be USB. It also allows you to recall a previous setting. If it was purely analog all the way through, you wouldn't be able to do that. So, people who jump on the bandwagon and say it's analog now, the signal path is analog, and I accept that. But it still has a massive digital component to it to make the damn thing work.